guys, welcome to TGC, where today we'll be doing a video review of the Nintendo Switch. On this channel I plan on doing a lot of tech reviews, a little bit of gaming, and maybe even some car stuff as well. But the primary focus will be on tech product reviews. So I wanted to start with the Nintendo Switch, which has been out now for a couple of months. But I've been enjoying it a lot, and now that I've used it so much, I really have a full-formed opinion on what I really think about it. I wanted to start by talking about the function of this console. So this is something that you can use on your television set, or you can use this on the go completely, as if it were, a portable gaming console. I'm someone, I work full-time, I take the train to work, so I get a lot of use out of the whole portable aspect of it. But at the same time, I do play it on my TV a lot as well. So I've kind of used it in both of its, main two functions. And I'm finding that it works really well on both. So this isn't the most powerful console, doesn't have the highest resolution, anything like that. But it is Nintendo, so the quality of the games that you're getting are just so good. Zelda Breath of the Wild knocked it out of the park. Mario Kart, you just can't go wrong with that. So as far as I'm concerned, the experience of both using this on the TV and as a portable, system is great. Now the screen on this handheld is 720p resolution. So this isn't going to be like a smartphone with 1080p or, quad HD resolution, but it's good enough. 720p, you're not really going to notice the difference, and it's going to look really great. And this is the kind of screen where it's not too big, it's not huge and so cumbersome. I can still carry this with one hand, but it's definitely not small. This is bigger than any other portable gaming console. The screen's definitely bigger than the Nintendo 3DS, another Nintendo console, and the PlayStation Vita, which is also out, but not very popular at all. I wouldn't be surprised if some people watching on here didn't even know what that was. So yeah, being that it's probably the biggest handheld console I've ever had and most people would ever have, it's a little bit weird at first, but you really get used to it. And the way that it's designed, the two Joy-Con grips, they're really comfortable, especially when they're used, attached to the console and, when it's being played that way. Now you can detach these two Joy-Cons and use them when it's being played on your television in a more traditional controller fashion. But I find that the Pro Controller is really the way to go. Okay, so I'll show you guys. Basically, so the two Joy-Cons, they detach from the console, and they just clip onto this attachment. It comes with the console itself. And you can use this as like a basic, more traditional style controller. This can also be used with the screen itself. It has a kickstand that comes out, just flips right out, and you can use it on a tabletop. Now, so that basically means that there's two ways of playing this console on the go. You can play it with the controller and the kickstand on a table or something if you're in a more stationary place, or obviously you can play it with the Joy-Cons attached on the side in a more traditional portable gaming console style. Now I find that all the time I'm using it with the Joy-Cons attached to the console. I don't really play with the kickstand out on tabletop, and that's because I find that with this kickstand it doesn't really angle the screen up enough for me to get a good viewing angle of it. I find that I have to hunch down and kind of like, get really close to it. And that's not really a problem because they give you those options. Some people might like that, I just don't. I use it in the more traditional way of having the Joy-Cons attached to the console like it was earlier. Now, also when playing at home, I did opt for the Pro Controller. I find that this is much better to use than this in this configuration. I think the Joy-Cons are great when they're attached to the Switch itself and you're playing it on the go. I don't think this is an optimal controller right here. It's very small, it's kind of cramped, the buttons are small, it feels like a controller design. I imagine like a young kid would really like this just because everything is smaller. On the Pro Controller, you can see it's really designed for like adult hands. The buttons are bigger. Everything is feels a little nicer. It is expensive. It's about $70 for this, but I do think it's worth it. And the thumbsticks are nicer as well. They have more travel. It just feels better. So when I'm playing it at home, I use the Pro Controller, and I would recommend that if you're buying this console, you buy a Pro Controller with it, and you will be very happy with your decision. So that's, the two controllers, so that's how they work, and they're both great. So another thing I wanted to talk about with the Switch was the battery life. So if you're playing something like Zelda, which is, very graphically intensive compared to something else like Shovel Knight or a 2D game, you're only going to get about 2 to 3 hours of battery life, which for a portable console isn't that good. You're going to have to charge it every night. It comes with a stand that attaches to the television for when you're playing it on there, so it's kind of easy to just throw it back on at the end of every day and let it sit there. But yeah, the battery life isn't so good. I do know that there's a battery case that you can get for this, which probably extends it at least 2 to 3 hours, I would say, which would make the battery life much better. But yeah, the standard battery they're using in here can't really handle, games like Zelda or Mario Kart all that well. But 2 to 3 hours isn't bad. It's just not good. I did get a screen protector for this. It's just a basic Amazon tempered glass screen protector, and that's probably the only real attachment I'm gonna get. I might go with a case or something like that. But the only real thing I was worried about, this all seems pretty durable to me. It's made of plastic. The only thing I was worried about was dropping it and shattering the screen, so now I won't have to worry about that. And overall, I think it's a really great console. I think I've focused more on the portable side of it, since when you're playing it, at home, it's just in a dock. You're not really interacting with this part of it itself. But yeah, I think the Switch is a really great console. It's kind of a step in the right direction for Nintendo, coming off of the Wii U, which was more or less a failure of a console, though I kind of liked it. I do think that this was the console that they needed, and it seems to be selling well too. Now, would I recommend it to you guys? Absolutely. Even if you're just a casual gamer, I think this console should belong to gamers of any level. Hardcore gamers, casual gamers, there's kind of something for everyone. Now, if you are buying this console, I'd say you have to buy with it Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Those are basically essentials. When you're playing on your own, you're going to be wanting to play Zelda, which is so good, and when you have friends over, you'll be wanting to play Mario Kart 8. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be buying a Switch. Let me know if you already have one, if you like it or not, and what you think of it. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.